Hello and welcome. I'm your host Elizibar. This is a review of DC's 100-page Swamp Thing Giant or Swamp Thing 100-page Giant or whatever they want to call it. It's got 5 stories in it, 2 new ones, 3 old ones. Let's just jump into this, man. Let's just jump into this because there's some good stuff in here. Spoiler, I think I'm going to give it like a 3.5 out of 5. Maybe that opinion will change. But I like this new story. Swamp Thing's like trying to hide in the bayou from people that are chasing him. He pops up, gives the guy a heart attack. It's kind of funny. It's kind of endearing. We meet these people. We learn some life lessons. The villains scheme, as villains do. Get this little chase. I like this page. I like it so much. I'm trying to get as much of the page on camera as possible. Let's go. Let's go. Let's just, boom, full sideways. Rotate your head. Rotate your head. Look at that. Now, the fact that Swamp Thing is running from something does seem kind of funny to me because, come on, he's Swamp Thing. Well, you actually going to beat him? But there's some life lessons learned. There's some betrayal, a little funeral. And ultimately, it was a pretty good little tale. I don't know who wrote it. Hold on. Let me. Doesn't say in the back, does it? Sure doesn't say in the back. Does it say in the story itself? Who worked on this thing? Here it is. Everything eats, everything dies. Writer Mark Russell. Well, I think Mark Russell did a pretty good job, and I like the art by Marco Santucci. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. I like how things like have ambient occlusion type effects around them to really highlight some stuff to provide that little extra bit of contrast. Pretty nice. There's another story. The other original story, it's also very horror themed. This kid gets kidnapped. He gets kidnapped to like the dark carnival here. We just need some ICP music playing, and we are set. This was a pretty good story. This was actually probably better than the first story from the perspective that it tells like a self-contained story, because this story just is. Swamp Thing fights like a giant undead elephant. What was that? Pomp? What a sound effect. Thruck? Oh, it's good stuff. And at the end, good has to triumph over evil, right? I'm not going to show any more of that. This old Lynn Wine story, also pretty good. This is, remember, it's the continuation of the story from like 2 months ago, where Swamp Thing is fighting like a zombie. So Swamp Thing ended like getting ripped in half and stuff, so he's like pulling himself back together. There's a cop from Gotham here. Swamp Thing pops in and talks to the Shade. How do I kill a zombie, yo? Then he's got to deal with the zombie who is out for revenge. Is that cool or what? This whole story, this is probably like the highlight of the book. Oh, hold on. Sorry. I got distracted for a second. This story is probably like the highlight of the book. The zombie, he's relatable. He's got pain. He's out for vengeance. He doesn't seem like super, super strong, but he seems pretty strong. Like, this isn't Solomon Grundy, but this dude is still strong. He's pretty tough. He's rocking the party. He wants his vengeance. He wants his vengeance. Very, very well deserved vengeance. Very well earned. Swamp Thing is, out to stop him from killing a bunch of people, and he ultimately has to battle him and put him down. And this is kind of false advertising. See, Phantom Stranger. He's on one page of the book. That's it. That's it. The Constantine series or story just kind of doesn't do anything for me. I liked the pages that had Swamp Thing on them here. I thought these were pretty nice looking, but the story itself, just there was nothing here. I mean, there's some like interesting looking art in it, but the writing was just yeah. And we're just gonna skip right over it. That's how little I liked it. Oh, except Constantine falls to his death. The end. So much for that character. The Zatanna story is much more interesting. We start off with like some super battles, and it's pretty cool stuff. And then she's like, "Look, I got to go home and get some sleep," and she does. And so what happens? She gets stalked by little sleep gremlin dude who goes around, works his way towards her, causing all kinds of havoc. Gets in her dreams. There's one page. Yeah, this is what I want to show. Dreams are crazy, and magic dreams are even more crazy. And this is fantastic. The interplay, the dialogue, everything here, her desperation, the emotions she's going through, and then eventually the creature's own desperation. It all plays well together. It provides a nice, psychologically thrilling. There we go. That's a good way to put it. Psychologically thrilling, like backdrop. You can see there's like crazy magic stuff going on here because there's dreams, so like shattered mirrors, and she is the shattered mirror. All sorts of great imagery in this particular story. Meanwhile, the villain is like being villainous, the real villain. Ultimately, I think you have like some idea of how that story is going to go because good always has to triumph over evil, right? Right. Uh, so that the two news stories, like I mostly liked them. The Lin Wine story I really liked, like that was dope. The Zatanna story I really liked, and the Constantine story is yeah. So look at that, we made it to like 4, but I don't know if I like the two news stories enough to be like a full point each. So we'll just call them like 0.75 of a point. So we get to 3.5 out of 5. Pretty good. I like that the two news stories are very much kind of in that horror vein. The Swamp Thing reprint story is in that kind of horror vein. The Zatanna story was more of a traditional kind of superhero type story, which I liked too. It provided a little bit of variety, and I just neither know nor care about what's going on in the Constantine story. It falls so flat that it's like somebody took a pancake, but the pancake couldn't even stay as a pancake. It just went and turned into a crepe. Like that's how terrible this is. Like a super dense death crepe. Like the kind of crepe you could not eat. And that's what John Constantine's story in this book looks like. A death crepe. The rest of the book is pretty good. You should check it out. $5. I'm not sure I'm going to keep buying these because I never know when they're coming out, what's coming out, you know? And I'm tired of spending time tracking these things down. So I might start missing out on this stuff, but I just don't know when these things are available and what's available in any given month. It's gotten ridiculous, and I am darn tired of hunting these down. But if you happen to be in Walmart and you happen to think, hey, I should go look at the comic books, they're right up there by the registers, you might want to pick it up. It's definitely worth the $5 you'll pay for it, especially if you haven't read the stuff that's in it already. All right, you all take care of yourselves. You have a great day. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I sure hope to see you again next time. Until then, bye bye.